Hey guys, welcome to another video. We have been doing a lot of workouts, HIIT workouts, interval workouts, things that you can do at home with little to no equipment. Even cooking recipes. Check out the smoothie, banana bread, how to make your own nut butters, roasted butternut squash soup, more to come. But today I want to focus on a little bit of hand and eye coordination. A tennis ball would be the ideal object to use for this. If you have another type of something that's similar to a tennis ball, give this a go. So, a little bit of a sequence and a little bit of a challenge to improve our throwing and catching. And I hope you have as much fun with this as I do. And I will be showing you a few kind of tricks towards the end. But to start with, we're going to warm up. We're going to be using right hand and left hand. And when you are catching any type of ball, tennis ball, football, soccer ball, whatever it is, make sure you're absorbing the energy out of the ball. So if the ball's coming down, absorb that energy out of it. Don't just let the ball hit you in the hands, because you might drop it. It's going to increase your ability to catch the ball if you're absorbing the energy out of the ball as you catch it. So, a little practice, starting with your dominant hand. I am more dominantly left-handed. I'm going to bounce the ball right between my feet in front of me. So in the center line, right about an arm's distance in front of me. And I need to be able to move, so I might need to move my feet here to adjust. So, bouncing the ball, absorbing the energy out of the catch. Practice with your left hand, practice with your right hand. Nice, easy, gentle catch, easy to start with. Next challenge, one hand only, dominant hand, catching underhand so the palm is facing up to the sky, and then we're switching over to the opposite hand. So pressing the ball down, get ready to move if you need to. Next up, catching the ball with your palm face down. So you're keeping your hand in your palm facing down the whole time. You can start to move a little bit quicker if that seems easier. Switch to the other hand. All right, you can see the pace is starting to come up. Next up, switching from left hand to right hand, palms are facing down. If you find it easier, you can catch with your palm up and then put your palm down to throw. Working on the amount of force that you're putting into the ball so it makes a nice, easy catch. Okay, that's a little bit of our hand-eye coordination warm-up using the tennis ball. Again, we started with the two-handed catch, absorbing the energy out of the ball so you're catching it silently, practicing with one hand, with palm up, switching to the other hand, and then palm down, and then switching from left to right. All right, here comes a few more fun things to do to help us with throwing and catching a tennis ball. This time, we're actually going to bring the ball behind us and try and catch it with the opposite hand. So we've already warmed up the throw, we've already warmed up the catch. So behind you from one side, behind you to the other side. In a minute I'll turn around so you can see what's happening from the other angle. So I'm always keeping focused on the tennis ball. As soon as I can see it, I can judge the flight and watch it gently land into my hand. If I turn around, it looks like this. And the cool part is we can actually reverse that motion. So as we come over to the side, and then we throw it back. Takes a little practice. So out to the side, and back. So out to the side. I think the key here is as you let go with this hand behind you, keep this hand around this area and try and just reverse the pass. Here. So catch behind. If you drop it, I really feel that the more we practice, the more times we will be successful, and also the more we practice, the more times we will fail at something. The more times we drop the ball gives us more opportunities to practice and improve. Failure is part of learning. So out to the side, and then try and reverse it. Show you from the back, out to the side, and then reverse. Next, moving on, if you have a second tennis ball or I would choose matching objects. If it's a slightly different type of ball, it's going to be best if you have two of the same. So we're going to start with left hand, right hand, palms facing down to the ground, watching the tennis ball until it enters your hand. And you can see I'm still absorbing the energy as it's coming up. So my hand rises, I make contact with the ball about here, but I'm fully catching it a little bit higher. So catching it on its way up. Can we do two at the same time? For this one, I'm going to bring the tennis balls in a little bit closer, because that's going to help my eyesight stay focused on a narrower distance rather than doing it out here. That's really hard to see. So I'm going to bring those tennis balls in a little bit closer, probably just inside my toes. Next up, can we switch them to throwing both at the same time? So one's going to go a little bit higher, one's a little bit lower. You see I'm actually slowly, didn't even realize, but I'm kind of bending my knees to help me with that throw, the timing and the rhythm of the whole body. And again, I'm not trying to throw the tennis balls really wide, because that's going to be really hard to catch. I don't know how I did that. But keeping them closer together, it's going to make it a lot easier. Oh, somehow caught that one with my arm. And that leads us into level 2 of juggling, which we've done level 1 before. Remember, the tennis ball comes up to about head height. And then the second one comes up to about head height. And once we can get level 1 and level 2, well, then we can add in the third tennis ball. And I would refer you back to the juggling video I made. So thank you to about 400 people have subscribed to these videos. But if you go back through the subscription, you can see a juggling video. And we start incorporating a third tennis ball into the flow. So we start with level 1, level 2, and as we add in level 3, I encourage you to look at my hands. You see how they're making a nice circular motion? And then the tennis ball always comes to just above my head height. And then from there we can progress, we can make a few tricks, we can juggle with one hand or the other, 2 in 1. And I'd like for you guys to explore and have fun with that. So if you just kind of struggled or practiced with me and it was a little test and it felt like we were dropping the tennis ball, just go through the flow from the beginning and start again. And each time you start this video, your hand and eye coordination with throwing the tennis ball and catching it will get a little bit better the more you practice. And remember, failing is part of practice. I think I dropped the tennis ball 10 or 15 times in this video, and that's totally normal. And I feel like now I'm ready to, if I did it again, I might be a little bit better next time. So guys, enjoy this hand-eye coordination, and we'll see you next week.